Hey everyone, how are we doing? And welcome back to another video in the studio. That is terrible camera work. I should be removed from the job. So if you do want to take over from me, let me know down in the comment section below. How are we doing though? This is of course my studio. There are quite a few different changes to be made today. I'm making a few different upgrades and I wanted to show you a few things that I'm actually working on that I think you're going to find very interesting indeed. In the last episode of the studio update, we did actually add a few new toys from Philips Hue. We've got these play bars that actually go behind the monitor, and then I've also now got this huge storage pile down here. It's starting to actually grow into the room, so I'm getting some storage sorted out for that. But this is where things like graphics cards and motherboards and things sort of live while they're in limbo. They're not currently in a video and they're not been sent back to the manufacturer just yet. I've got it all set up actually now with this Stream Deck. So you just press a couple of buttons to get into the lights and you can completely change everything just with the touch of a button. It's pretty cool stuff really. So I've got some lights there, and here. But what is really exciting over this side of the room, and hopefully the last time that you'll see this in the form like this, where there's just no storage and just boxes lying around. But I wanted to show you this. It is the PG35VQ. It was sent out by Asus about a week and a half ago. I've been reviewing a few different screens, but it's now time to actually finally get this set up. HDR performance on this thing is the best of the best. G-Sync HDR Ultimate, it's fantastic. But Asus have actually let me have this for an extended period of time, I guess. So not sure how long that's going to be, but it's going to be really cool to actually set this up, put it on my desk and start playing in HDR once again. So let's do it. This is actually a little bit difficult to film by yourself. Normally I have someone helping me out, but she has popped to the shops for one daily outing, but we do need food. I mean, the fridge is getting a bit empty now. This is serious. It is absolutely crazy though, just how quickly time flies, because when I first tested this, it's when it originally came out, and that was in 2018. I've actually been in the YouTube game, if you like, full time for, it'll be 3 years in, well, this month actually. It's been about pretty much 3 years to this very day, which is crazy because it really doesn't seem like that long at all. God, how much sellotape do they want to put on this thing? Come on, they don't. Do you want me to use it or not? Aha, here we go. This is 35 inches in screen size, so you can see it is absolutely ginormous. Oh, should have made space on the desk. I'm enjoying this radio show, by the way. As I say, camera person required, job applications are open. I forgot just exactly how thick this thing is. It's a chunky boy, it's very heavy. If we can look at this thickness, you can see, look, that's quite a big chunk of monitor. But in case you're interested, and you don't assemble monitors more or less every week like I do, there's normally just 2 pieces to put on. So this Asus one, you see, just slots in. It's usually completely toolless. And then you have some screws just to use your hand to tighten up. Very simple stuff. And then, it's just a case of whacking this on the desk, removing the cover, and you can see here is the PG35VQ in all of its glory. I love the back as well. You'll see when we get this thing plugged in, you get all of this crazy little ROG logo and color scheme and stuff. And you're probably never going to see it because it's going to be against a wall, but they've done a good job on the design. And this of course means it's now time to say a very sad goodbye to this LG 240Hz monitor. Review is actually live on the channel because this was a 1 millisecond 240Hz IPS screen, 1080p, reasonable price. You should go check that out. Bye bye. And hello. It is so nice to have a deeper desk because this actually slots on there. Much better than my old one. That's good, that is. I prefer bases that you can push back as far as possible. So when you're designing your next stand Asus, I would really appreciate it if you could bear smaller desks in mind, because this one's huge and it still doesn't fit properly. Top tip. But the setup so far then, there's definitely still quite a lot of things to do. I do need to neaten everything up all the way, but this is obviously quite a raw edit. That will come in a future video, don't you worry, full cable management. I've got big plans. But highlights at the moment would definitely be this case, and it's not got the best airflow as you guys have pointed out, but even for my very overpowered 2080 Ti and what is this? It's a 10920X, I think, with a 280mm radiator is absolutely fine as long as you tune the fans on the Zotac card. It works a treat. But the PG35VQ is such a great monitor, it really, really is. And obviously, as I say, this has been sent out by Asus. Don't worry, this isn't sponsored, but they have sent this out. And it's a very, very clear recommendation for me, really, which is that if you want to spend a crazy amount of money on having the best monitor you possibly can, you care about HDR and you want ultrawide, then this, or what is it, Asus X35 equivalent, are definitely the ones to go for. Pretty much I would go for whichever one is cheaper of those two at the time that you're buying. But both are fantastic. Literally fantastic. They do have actually some fans inside for cooling, but they're a lot quieter than they were in the PG37VQ, so it wasn't really a concern for me. I think if you're streaming and you have a microphone sitting on your desk, you might notice it, but otherwise it's not really been a problem at all, and you just get that fantastic gaming experience. But again, you need to be using HDR and playing games with a very high-end graphics card, high frame rates to really get the most out of it. Synchronize the audio, please. Why do I do these things? I do it for your entertainment and for practicality, because I do actually need to synchronize the audio. So Philips Hue sent these out. They're very simple. You have a little box that connects to your Hue bridge via Wi-Fi, and I have a couple of these extensions that simply plug into the strip, and then you can control it all from your phone, or, as we showed you earlier, from the Stream Deck, or where is it? Our Google Home over here. Setting up the strips should be incredibly simple. Just make sure that your surface that you'll be using is nice and clean. Do get them hooked up before you start sticking stuff down, just in case they don't work. That would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it, if you have some dodgy strips and they're stuck to your wall and you have to take them off and rip the paint or something. Oh, that is bright, actually. Certainly looks like they do, but let's try with the Extensione. I do like the fact that you get these little bends as well that you can use to pop this round corners if need be, which is pretty practical and pretty useful. Okay, last one, and there you go, boom. So that is an awful lot of lighting. Let's get these things actually hooked all the way around the outside of my desk and see what that looks like. You know what, I probably should have done this before I put the monitor on the desk, because I've just made my life a whole lot more difficult, haven't I? This little junction box that has the Wi-Fi stuff in it also has adhesive on it as well, so you can just stick this sort of next to the strip underneath and not have to worry about the pressure of it sort of dangling down and damaging, or at least reducing the stickiness, if you like, of your strips. The basic process is very, very simple. Simply lay the strips down as close as you can to the top so you can actually see the light bleeding over it, but not so much so that you're actually going to see the lights, because if we pull back a little bit, you can see that this looks nice, whereas actually being able to see the LEDs does not and is bad. So get it in a place that's visible, that you can see it, but make sure you hide the LEDs as much as possible. Give yourself a little bit of curvature, allow it to breathe, otherwise you're going to risk actually breaking the LEDs, which would not be fun for anybody. And through the power of editing, you can see that we are now done, complete. Strips are the whole way around the desk, and I think it looks really pretty tasty, if I say so myself. I was a little bit confused at one point, and I did have to redo quite a lot, because exactly as I was sort of saying in some of that video there, if you can see the light strip itself, or at least in my case the reflection of the light strip on the wall, it doesn't look quite as good as I would like it to, but you can sort of reposition it a little bit. So I took it off, put it back on, and it seems to be pretty secure over there. Then it's just a case of adding them to my studio room, clicking OK, and then you can see, drag them around, make them whatever color you want look. Very easy to do so. That looks pretty nice. But the thing that I quite like is that without doing, I should say, any other configuration, I can now go to my Stream Deck and I can control it automatically from here, because it sort of reacts to any new lights that you add. The only other thing you need to do is, if you're using Google Home, you need to ask it to reload My Devices, and then you need to obviously add this into your Google Home room, because if you ask it to turn the lights off at the moment, then it won't do it, because it doesn't know where the studio strips actually are. And so there you go then. My new studio, at least the desk setup of it, is very, very near completion. I have big plans for the mouse mats. I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say there may well be something you can buy from the channel in the not too distant future that will look pretty cool on my desk, but as I say, let's save that for a rainy day. Likewise, what's going on with this wall over here, hopefully that will be sorted out in around about a week or two, but I'll be bringing you full updates on that very shortly. And I'm not afraid to show you this cable management mess because you guys always sit in the background and complain. Don't worry about that. There's going to be a full video going through all of the cable management and how to get everything looking pristine. Look at this mess as well, look, of all this monitor stuff. Got a lot to do before lunch. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Let me know any thoughts that you do have down in that comment section below. Do you enjoy this style of video? Is it interesting? Would you rather see something else? Yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, all of those good things. I'll see you next time.